Long ago, in the peaceful African village of Boma, where cooking fires burned every morning and laughter filled the air, a stranger arrived. Her name was Zainab. She was tall, light-skinned, beautiful in a way that made people stop and stare. Her long braided hair rested gently on her shoulders. Her skin glowed in the sunlight, and though she wore a modest African outfit, her elegance and confidence made her look like royalty. The villagers whispered, "Who is she? She looks like someone from another world." Zainab greeted them politely, her voice calm, her smile gentle. She said little about where she came from, only that she needed rest. As tradition demanded, the women prepared a feast. Hot soup bubbled in clay pots. Fresh fish roasted over open fire. Zainab sat among them. She looked at the steaming food, and slowly she pushed it away. "You will not eat," said a villager. Zainab shook her head. "I cannot eat what has touched fire." The village fell silent. Then, to everyone's horror, Zainab reached down with her bare hands, picked up bloody raw meat and raw fish, and began to eat. Blood stained her fingers. Children screamed. Men stepped back in fear. Villager terrified. "She eats like an animal." But Zainab's face remained calm. That night fear entered the village of Boma. From that day on, Zainab never touched cooked food. Morning, afternoon, night, only raw flesh. But something else was strange. Every night, when the village slept, Zainab walked alone toward the forest, toward the ancient river. The river was older than Boma itself. Its water glowed under the moon. Floating pearls shimmered on its surface. Zainab stood beside it, tall and graceful, her beauty glowing even in the dark. She knelt. "Zainab," whispering, "my brother, forgive me." The water rippled. A deep voice echoed from the river. "Spirit says, Zainab, daughter of sacrifice." The river revealed the truth. Long ago, Zainab's younger brother stole sacred pearls from this river, blinded by pride. The spirits were furious. They cursed him. He was transformed into a beast. Half man, half animal, forced to live in the forest, eating only raw flesh. Zainab begged the spirits for mercy. Zainab crying, saying, "Punish me instead. Spare my brother." The spirits answered, saying, "Only one who loves him enough to share his fate may save him." And Zainab accepted. From that night, Zainab's fate changed. She became bound to the curse. She could not eat cooked food. She could not live a normal life. That was why she ate raw meat. Not because she was evil, but because she was loyal. Back in Boma, fear slowly turned into curiosity. The villagers watched Zainab help the women farm, carry water, care for children. She was kind, patient, strong. A young man named Kelechi began to notice her. Kelechi says to Zainab, "You suffer quietly." "Why?" Zainab looked away. Zainab says, "Because love sometimes hurts more than punishment." Kelechi chose to stand by her. Together they went to the river one final time. The spirits appeared angry and powerful. Spirit says, "Why are you disturbing us again?" Kelechi spoke bravely, saying she has paid enough. Love should not be punished forever. The spirits were silent. For the first time they hesitated. On the night of a full moon, the entire village gathered by the river. Fire burned on one side. Water glowed on the other. Zainab stood between both worlds. The river roared. The spirits spoke, saying the curse is lifted. From the forest emerged Zainab's brother, fully human once more. The village cried. Children danced. Joy filled the air. Zainab was free. She could eat cooked food again. She could live normally. But Zainab raised her hand and said, "I choose to stay." Everyone gasped. Zainab says, "I will guard this river so no family will ever suffer like mine." The spirits bowed. Kelechi took her hands. Kelechi says, "I stand with you." And so, the people of Boma tell her story to this day, not as a tale of fear, but as wisdom, because sometimes the strongest magic in Africa is not spells. It is love that refuses to let go. The village of Boma was no longer the same. Where fear once lived, peace had taken its place. Children laughed freely. Crops grew taller. The river flowed gently. And at the center of it all walked Zainab. Tall, graceful, calm. The villagers no longer whispered behind her back. They watched with respect. because wherever she stepped, life followed. As the sun dipped into the sky, Zainab sat beside the glowing river. A young hunter approached slowly. Hunter says, "Guardian, why do you still eat raw food?" Zainab lifted her eyes. Her expression was gentle but deep. Zainab says, "Because love does not forget its promises." She touched the water. Zainab says, "Some sacrifices are not forced. They are chosen." The hunter bowed his head. That same night, strangers entered the forest. Their eyes burned with desire. They had heard the rumors, glowing pearls, magic water, power. They crept closer to the river, but they did not see Zainab watching from the shadows. Still, tall, unmoving, waiting. The moment they touched the river, the ground shook. Fire rose from the village side. Water lifted into the air. Zainab stepped forward, standing between fire and water. The pearls floated above her. The spirits appeared silent, watching. Zainab, firm, commanding, "Leave this place." The strangers froze. Fear replaced greed, and they ran. The elders gathered that night. They bowed before Zainab. "Village elder says you are no longer cursed." Zainab smiled softly. Zainab said, "I was never cursed." The elders looked at one another. She continued, "A curse is born from fear. Power is born from love." The fire burned quietly. No one spoke. Under the full moon, Zainab stood alone by the river. The water shimmered. The land slept peacefully. She was no longer just a woman. She was a guardian, a reminder, a story that would never die. And from that night on, the village taught the children one truth. True strength is not what you take, but what you protect. Soft African drums, evening breeze, distant village sounds. In the days before destiny called Zainab by name, love found her first. Zainab was known throughout the village of Boma, not for laughter, not for anger, but for mystery. She ate raw meat, raw fish. She never touched fire. Many feared her. Many avoided her. But Kelechi did not. He watched her quietly, the way she walked with dignity, the way sadness hid behind her calm smile. And instead of fear, his heart chose patience. One evening, as the sun sank low, Kelechi walked beside Zainab. Kelechi said to Zainab, "You live like someone carrying a heavy secret." Zainab stopped for a long moment. She said nothing. Then she spoke softly. "Zainab said my life is bound to sacrifice." Kelechi nodded. Kelechi said, "Then let someone share the weight with you." That was the moment love began. Days later, beneath the Irako tree, Zainab told him everything. The magic river, the angry spirits, her brother's curse, why she ate raw food, not by choice, but by love. When she finished, she looked away, expecting fear. But Kelechi only stepped closer. Kelechi said, "If the spirits test you, then let love stand with you." Zainab's eyes filled with tears. That same night, by the quiet river, Kelechi knelt. The water shimmered softly. No spirits appeared. No thunder followed. Only truth. Kelechi said, "I cannot promise a long life, but I promise a true love." Zainab trembled. Zainab, whispering, "My destiny may take me away." Kelechi looked up. Kelechi said, "Then let it find you, my love." She placed her hand in his hand, and the river glowed gently. Joyful drums, ululation, celebration. The village of Boma gathered at dawn. Zainab stood tall and radiant, her braided hair adorned with beads, her beauty calm and fearless. Kelechi stood beside her, proud and steady. The elders raised their staffs. Village elder said, "Love that survives fear is blessed by the ancestors." The river flowed quietly, watching, approving. And with that, Zainab and Kelechi were joined. That night, they sat beside the river. Zainab rested her head on Kelechi's shoulder. Zainab says, "If the river ever calls me." Kelechi answered without hesitation. Kelechi said, "I will let you go knowing you were never alone." The river shimmered faintly, as if it remembered. In African wisdom, some marriages are not meant to stop destiny, but to give destiny a meaning. True love means putting them first. What would you sacrifice for your loved ones? Drop your answer in the comment section. If this drama touched your heart, show some love. Hit the subscribe button, like, and share with friends. Your support fuels more heartfelt stories. Thanks for watching.